My name is Dragana and welcome to my presentation on effective teaching practices for teaching the whole child. Every primary school teacher needs great and effective pedagogical practices. We will be focusing on student wellbeing and pastoral care, effective teaching practices for good academic outcomes, and classroom resources. Student wellbeing and pastoral care. Making sure students are healthy and safe is very important for their learning and development. Relationships affect how we learn, so we aim to create positive relationships between teachers and students. These build a happy and safe environment for learning. In a positive environment, we have respect for each other, we promote diversity and acceptance, the teacher is accessible to the students, making communication easy. But most importantly, we get to know and recognise each student as an individual, their interests, backgrounds, strengths and weaknesses. This will help to personalise learning where the student feels more valued and eager to learn. Roger Holdsworth promotes the value of authentic student voice on the Safe Schools website. He believes active participation of young people builds engagement in schools. Engagement with schooling builds outcomes of success and leads to happy and successful young people. Behaviourism. Classical conditioning to create routine, helping young students by creating stability. Apparent conditioning. Clear and easy classroom rules. What behaviour is acceptable and what is not. Positive and negative reinforcement to encourage or discourage certain behaviour. A superstar chart as a reward. Constructivism. Involving the students in the rule-making process. Using my knowledge of the students and how best to utilise them to teach each other. Tim plays soccer out of school, so we ask him to tell us a little about the game and the World Cup for our project on Brazil. Effective teaching practices for good academic outcomes. Cognitivism focuses on understanding the mind, the inner workings of human thought process, the method of knowing and how this impacts how we learn. Bloom's taxonomy on a cognitive level involves knowledge and the development of intellectual skills. Recall, to remember. Understanding, to make sense. Applying, use the knowledge in new ways. Analysing, how does each part work? Evaluating, make a judgment. Creating, using the information in a new way. When we provide our students with higher level activities, they are required to think beyond simple remembering, therefore developing their thought process. Social constructivism. Learning builds on knowledge a student already has. In this setting, students learn socially from interacting with each other and the teacher. The activities are set, explained, and then guidance, monitoring, and correcting are used to get learning to occur. Vygotsky's zone of proximal development is the distance between what a learner can't do and what they can. It is what the learner can do with guidance. Collaborative learning activities where less capable children can learn with help from more capable classmates. What might inhibit this theory is if there aren't enough of the more capable classmates to split between the groups. Theory of multiple intelligence. All children learn better in different ways. Howard Gardner founded the theory where he wanted teachers to empower learners instead of restricting them to one form of learning, recognizing their strengths and weaknesses. A learning article by Bruce Campbell stated how he separated his Year 3 class into learning centres based on Gardner's theory, 15 minutes in each centre to learn one topic in 7 different ways. This gives the child a multi-dimensional view of one subject and increases the chances of successfully understanding and retaining the information. Intrapersonal, exploring on their own. Interpersonal, exploring in groups. Musical, exploring in rhythmical ways. Visual, exploring using art media. Kinesthetic, exploring with their body's movement. Verbal, exploring in written form, talking. Logical, exploring with the mind, their logic. Classroom resources. Knowing which resources will work best for certain students is very important. Some children may learn better with audio, visual, multimedia. Vygotsky stressed the important role of social interaction in the development of cognition. Therefore, people in the community are sometimes a forgotten resource. Think outside the box. What is available to you? This is also where getting to know your students and their families can be helpful. How better to learn about emergency services than asking Kim's mum, who is a police officer, to stop past in her uniform and address the students. All these elements put together are the best way to teach the whole child. Thank you very much for listening.
Free created using Powtoon.